I have something to say here that I'm really curious what way you might lean, because I feel like I might be a minority in this. But the Xbox Developer Direct has been announced for 2025. So glad that it's continuing 3 years in a row. An opportunity to get to know what a handful of the many studios that Xbox has is going to be up to this year. But it isn't that anymore. And that kind of is the backbone to what I want to say here, because, well, first off, like, Happy New Year. I don't know if this is the first. I think this is the first video I've recorded of the year. That's what I'll say. And I just got done recording and I'm still working on an Xbox timeline video for 2025. And this has definitely hit a kink in that curve, because I was not expecting what is Expedition 33. I'm basically saying Expedition 33. That is kind of the backbone to a point that I have to make here. But what was very expected is ID showing Doom the Dark Ages and Compulsion Games showing South of Midnight. Those two were locks to me for this show. I did not know if Fable will show up, because if Fable is supposed to be the big holiday release of the year, and they want to continue what Starfield and Black Ops 6 did, then they'll just make that the Fable Direct after the summer showcase this year. So I didn't know if that would show up here or not because of that. But what I still felt is between Outer Wilds 2 and what this mysterious announcement is, to which, yes, I am pretty confident I know what it is. And if you don't want that spoiled for you, then, I don't know, stay tuned for the timeline video. Actually, I guess you can't even watch that either, because I'm going to spoil it there too. But I wasn't expecting this, from Sandfall Interactive Expedition 33. I refuse to call it Clair Obscur or whatever. And this is, don't get me wrong, Clair Obscur, I just did it, is a game that I am looking forward to. It's maybe one of my most anticipated games of the year. I think it looks awesome. So this is nothing against that game. But what I really was hoping this Developer Direct would be going forward is just what it was in 2023. That was a direct that we got to see ESO Online, the surprise of Hi-Fi Rush from Tango Gameworks, Redfall, Minecraft Legends. Why am I forgetting the fifth one? Oh, Forza Motorsport. Yeah. But that was five. That was 5 first-party things that took over that show. And honestly, it gave me hope, because I'm like, this is cool. Like, you kick off the year to make... It's almost like a great way to connect with the first-party peeps. There's so many first-party studios at Xbox now, more than PlayStation or Nintendo. However, Nintendo's is kind of confusing how that works. But it's just a great way to give the highlight to the teams that are going to be leading the charge this year. Like, people were saying Avowed would show up here, but I didn't think so, because we already got to see them do it last year. So I just feel like that would be kind of weird to have them show up twice. But Outer Worlds 2, that's a different story. Because if that's coming out in 2025, then why not? Even if you're not sure if it's gonna, why not? Because you already did it with Avowed last year, so I just thought that was really cool that they just led the year. Here's 5 first-party things, and they're all things that, are happening this year, or at least are planned to. And then 2024, they still kind of did that, but then they brought in Visions of Mana out of nowhere. Oh, is it an exclusive? No. Is it coming to Game Pass? No. Then why is it here? Oh, we just want to show Square Enix's game. But it seems like that's continuing this year with just, here's Expedition 33. And we're not even going to make that the surprise thing. We're just going to be like, hey, this is going to be in this show. It just sends a weird message to me about, like, here's a third-party thing. And I literally was just telling somebody in the Patreon Discord this morning, like, yeah, but don't look at this as an Xbox thing anymore. It is apparently just a potential possibility of something that's coming to Xbox now. It doesn't have that brand identity, which is still, to me, the biggest problem that Xbox has going forward. The sense of brand identity. Now, I will say Expedition 33, better than Visions of Mana last year. This is coming to Game Pass. So there's at least that. At least it's like, yeah, it's coming to Game Pass. That is something that is identified with Xbox. But you're probably like, okay, What is up with that question mark? What is that? I seriously, I wanted to save this for the timeline video, but if you're here, then I'll tell you what it is. There's something that's very likely and there's something that is unlikely. The unlikely thing is contraband. There was Mag from Cold Eastwood's XNC podcast that said, yeah, apparently he got word that it was internally delayed to 2025, and that if that is true, you know, so take that with a huge grain of salt, then this is finally the time. It's been in development for like give or take since 2020, and that would be a really cool surprise because we haven't seen it in ages. And I mean, look, I'll leave it to you. Do you think that's more likely or Everwild is more likely? But the actual more guaranteed thing is a game that has been in development also since like 2020, and it's an Unreal Engine remake of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And I feel weird sharing this with people, but it could be kind of promising. You know, like it's been in development from Virtuous Studios. Apparently there was like an employee that leaked it previously, and then a lot of like things are just kind of lining up, the phrase where there's smoke, where there's fire. And that could be pretty wild. And that's a first party thing. I'll be very excited about that. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a twofer surprise where both Contraband and Elder Scrolls 4 show up. We usually have 4 promised things, but then a surprise guest shows up. But I'm really curious how people land on this idea that these developer directs are not 100% first party led. I just thought it'd be really cool to see what our main 4 first party studios that Phil Spencer said a while ago, we want to have 4 major first party releases every year. Why not start off the year with who 4 of those studios could be and put them in the limelight, the 4 or 5 that will lead the charge, and give time for your other 30 studios to cook. I am sadly not going to be able to watch this live. It is happening on a day that I have a shoot that is planned of all the freaking days. So I don't know how I'm going to watch this without getting it spoiled for me. Let me know if you have a solution to that. And let me know where you sit on this debate, like just it being 100% first party or not. Let me know in the comments. That's why I upload these, because I want your voice to be shared and for you to lend your ears to others.